welcome to this week's video. Now this week something a bit different. I'm not doing a vlog or gig diary, I'm doing a gear review. Now I've been sent another bit of kit from Kimafun. Now if you look back over my videos, I reviewed recently one of their in-ear monitoring systems, one of their wireless in-ear monitoring systems, so I'll link to that here. And I quite like that unit. I mean, they're only cheap, these units. They're just over £100, the in-ear one, and this is $129 on Amazon in the US. I haven't managed to find it here. So I got sent this at the end of last year, and I started my review, which is what you're going to see coming up, hence the reason I'm wearing a different t-shirt and the video probably looks slightly different. But I stopped because I had a bit of an issue with the device, and I didn't want to post a negative review, especially without giving them a chance to respond. So I emailed them, and it took a little while for them to get back to me at Kimafun, but they said they were happy with me to post my honest review because any feedback, good or bad, helps them to develop their product. So I think that was a very good attitude to have, and that's the way you're going to improve your product. So I'm going to post this review, good and bad. So here we are, coming up. This is the clip from a few weeks ago when I started the review. Right, so here it is. It arrived in this nice package, and it is the Kimafun G207 2.4. It says wireless microphone on here, but I don't think this is, it says Kimafun microphone. I don't think this is the microphone, this is the wireless guitar transmitter. Or that's what I'm hoping, that's what I think it's going to be. So let's have a look in here. It comes in a nice carry case. This is very similar to the in-ear monitoring system that I reviewed of theirs. If you check back on my videos, I'll link to that for that video. For that was for the wireless in-ear system, which comes with the in-ear plugs and the transmitter and receiver. Now these are $129.99. Now I can't see these on UK Amazon, so I'm not sure on that, but you can get them on the American Amazon site, $129.99. So we've got two units here. And what else have we got in here? I'm going to get the GoPro out so I can show you in more detail what we've got. Right, so here we go. We've got the transmitter. So that'll be the end that you plug into the guitar. And then here, the receiver. So that'll be the one that we plug into the amp. The picture of the amp there, the picture of the guitar there. What could be simpler? And then what does it come with? Right, that shall become apparent. You'll probably put those on so you don't drop them. And then the charging cable. Again, there's a handy charging cable. You go from one USB into two chargers, so you can charge them both at the same time. So I shall have a look at these instructions in a minute. I'm going to plug them in, see if they're charged. The last ones I got were charged, and then I'm going to give them a go and see what they sound like. I've just switched them both on, and they both appear to have been shipped fully charged, just like the other ones I had, so that's very handy. So I haven't got to charge them before I can demo them. So let's get them plugged in, see how they compare to a cable. I think a good way to test this, or the obvious way to test this, is to compare it to a cable. Now I'm going to use George L's solderless cable. These are what I use on my live setup. The majority of my patch leads are George L's as well on my pedal board. I think Eric Johnson uses these, so these are good quality cables. I always think they sound pretty good. I've never had any complaints with them live, and the ones I use live haven't gone wrong for years. So I'm going to plug my Danny Gatton Telecaster straight into my Vibra King amp. I've turned all the reverb off, the fat switch is on, but the EQ is all set flat, so hopefully you'll be able to hear what that sounds like through the microphone on the camera. Let's try the treble pickup. Neck pickup. Right, I think that gives us a pretty good idea of the sound. So let's switch over to the wireless system. Right, so let's have a look at these. First thing, this is the guitar one, and I'm assuming we extend that out. It sets channel 1. Seems pretty straightforward. There's only a channel setting on there. So I'm going to plug this end into the guitar. This is weird. I've never used a wireless guitar system before, ever. This is very strange. Right, that end is in. And then, I'm assuming, I just do the same thing, set to channel 1 on the receiver end. Extend that out, take the little sleeve, protector sleeve off. Just plug it in, see how it sounds. It feels like it's not going to work, it's too weird. Now there is latency on this. This is the same as I experienced with the in-ear system. With that I got used to it. The sound of I didn't detect it in my voice, but with the guitar I could feel it coming back. If you watch that video, I tried it directly plugged out the back of my quad cortex, so I was getting I noticed it immediately. And this is a very similar thing. I don't know if you can hear the difference between me hitting the string and the sound coming out of the amp. Now the reason you get latency on these systems is that they're digital and they have to process the signal before they send it over. I think on the really expensive ones you don't get that, but there is definitely latency there. And also, I don't know if you can hear the difference on the video, but there's definitely some treble missing. So I think the best way to sort this out is to play something and A/B it directly, switch between the two things. So let me do that. I'm going to strum some chords just on the treble pickup, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the cable, and then I'll A/B them, cut the video up so you can hear the difference. So here we go. Now there is a marked difference here, I have to admit. These are really taking out lots of treble and lots of tone. Now obviously when I'm doing this at home, it's much more noticeable than when I'm on a gig. So what I'm going to do, in the interest in trying this properly, like I did with the wireless ones, I've got a gig tonight, and I'm going to take these with me, and I'm going to see how I get on. I'm going to film it and put some footage up. I shall film it using these and using the cables, and see if you can hear the difference. I'm not sure how I'm going to get on with this. The latency I might be able to get over. The lack of treble might make a difference. Now I will say here, when I plug through a pedal board, I expect there is a tiny loss of treble anyway. Going straight in with a single cable is the cleanest you're going to get it. So these replacing just that, not introducing anything into the chain, that might be the most extreme test of them. When they're going through a pedal board that's all buffered and stuff, maybe these might work better. So we shall see, and once I've done the gig I shall also try the pedal board at home tomorrow before I come to my conclusions. Right, so this is the point where I took the Kimafun wireless guitar unit out on a gig, and unfortunately this is where I really had the problem, because what I like to do with the reviews is show some live footage of me using them, because I think that's a very good test, and a lot of the reviews you don't get that, you just get people using them in their studios. But unfortunately it wasn't good enough to use, I have to say. I lost too much treble. Now I'm not sure that this is a totally fair comparison. Like with the clip earlier on, I'm using a boutique hand-wired amp with a custom shop guitar with a reasonably expensive cable. So is that really a fair test? I mean, these kind of amps, they're much more sensitive to cables and that kind of thing. So I thought, after doing those bits that I just showed you and not being able to do live footage, the next thing would be to have some footage where you could hear it directly into the computer. So I plugged the unit into my quad cortex on a kind of basic sound that I use live into the PA. So it sounds right, I haven't treated it at all from the computer. And what I'm going to show you here is some clips going from one setting to the other. What I did, I started off with my 335, I started off on the neck pickup just with a reasonably clean sound, doing some strumming. Then I moved it onto the bridge pickup so you can hear that more trebly sound still on a clean sound, and then I kicked it on a couple of pedals on the quad cortex just so you could hear what it sounded like with some more overdrive. So here we are, I've labelled up which one's the wireless and which one's the cable. So have a look at this and see what you think. Now, I'm afraid to say I think it's pretty definite here that we are losing some treble with this unit. Also, as you probably noticed, my playing was rather scrappy with the wires because the latency I do find a bit distracting, and I was struggling even with that, even though I could hear the guitar really acoustically over what I was doing, and possibly that was what made it even worse. I was hearing the two things clashing. So it's a shame. It's a great little unit. I've given you an honest review. I've shown you what it sounds like. And yes, we're definitely losing treble there. Do check out their other stuff. As I say, the in-ear wireless system was very good. I was very pleased with that. In fact, someone I knew bought one, Robin. So I hope it's good. Hope he likes it, because he bought it based on my review. But I'm afraid on this one, I'm not going to be able to use these. Hopefully, they might be able to do something about that, about the lack of treble and stuff. And I'd be interested to see if they do send me another one, an updated version. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm bringing out new videos every week, 7 PM UK time on a Friday. So please hit subscribe, hit like, please leave me a comment, and I shall see you hopefully next week.